Misty, are you there?
I am late today. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
Yes, oh my gosh. So sorry about that. I've been slowing down. I tell you what, ever since I got back from helping my friend out in Virginia, it's like I can't get my energy back. It's weird. Well, here we are. Lesson 7 of 8. We got two more. Oh boy, getting there. This one is about the personal medicine wheel. How do we define medicine? You know, medicine, when you think about medicine, it's like medicine is what helps you get better, right? Because medicine is supposed to help you improve, help you become a better person. So it says we define medicine as all the things which have an effect upon us physically, mentally, and spiritually. Well, what what doesn't have an effect on us then? If it's physically, mentally, and spiritually, that's everything. It says all things, colors, food, music, weather, people, and so on, arouse some stimulus in a person, either emotionally or physically, and thereby affect his or her health in some way. Well, so everything, the way you have your house decorated, the car you drive, the places that you go, the streets you drive down, everything has an effect on you. Those things which lead to health and happiness we call good medicine. That sounds good, you know, towards health and happiness. And the things that lead us away from health and happiness we call bad medicine. So let's see, can you name some examples in your life? What do you think are stuff that's good medicine? What do you think is good medicine in your life?
My dogs.
Yes, your dog, your cat, your pets. They certainly bring health and happiness. My cat just likes to lay on my chest all the time. I think that's, they like to listen to your heart or something. It's weird. So, okay, so what kind of things are bad medicine? Yeah, got any idea what would be bad medicine? I guess a stressful job would be bad medicine.
Toxic people.
Toxic people, yes. Oh my gosh. Um, Driving in horrible traffic, that's stressful. What else is?
Chemicals in your environment.
Toxic food.
Yes, toxic food. Oh my gosh. Breathing smoky air, that's terrible. Living in an environment where everything smells like bus fumes and car fumes and not holding yourself accountable. Yep, negative talk. Those are all good ideas. Bad medicine. Okay, so bad medicine. If you were a diabetic, then ice cream could be bad medicine. You know, for some people, ice cream would be good medicine. But for so it just depends. It's not the same for everybody. It's different. The range of a person's vision affects the size of his or her personal medicine wheel. Although it is generally considered to be the radius of 8 miles, the distance you can usually see from horizon to horizon on a flat plane. It was for this reason that most tribal encampments kept a distance of 20 miles from their neighbors. So that's about right. Towns are usually about that far apart. So to be outside your medicine wheel, you'd have to be farther away than you can see. So the size of your medicine wheel is affected by how far you can see. So what if you lived in a valley? Would that make a difference in the size of your medicine wheel? So your medicine wheel is what you can affect, what you can travel to in a day, what you can get out there and make a difference in. So let's say you're in prison, you know, then and your medicine wheel then would only be extend to the walls around you because you couldn't make an effect. You couldn't be effective outside those walls because your reach isn't that far. So a person's vision affects the size of their medicine wheel. Everything within your medicine wheel has an effect on you. But the things that are outside your medicine wheel are not part of the things that are going to affect you. They're so say you're in prison and somebody tells you about your sister's getting married. Well, that whole thought is just up in your head because it's not here. It's not in the here and now. It's not in your medicine wheel. So there's nothing you can do to affect it. You can't go or not go because you're not there. So the same as if you lived in a valley and your sister was in the next valley over and you couldn't get over there. Then it's with the thought of it is just in your head. It's not in your environment. So it says everything outside your medicine wheel ceases to exist for you. It's only a memory, a dream, or a fanciful hallucination. It's in your head. If a thing is farther away than the reaches of your medicine wheel, whatever you can personally do to affect it must be done where you are now. Like, say you want to make a difference about the plastic in the ocean. So I live in Missouri, pretty far away from the ocean. So if I wanted to do something to affect how much plastic is in the ocean, I guess I would have to do something where I am here. So I could limit the amount of plastic things I buy, or I could make sure that I recycle those things. So whatever you're going to do to affect something that's outside your medicine wheel, you have to do inside your medicine wheel because that's the only place you can reach. You can't reach any farther than that. So this concept taught the Native American to live in the present because the past is just full of regrets and the future is full of anxiety because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So
Misty, I'm so sorry. Do you have music on?
yes, I do. Can you hear it?
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
bothering you? Okay,
Um,
that's okay. I can turn it off. There we go. Is that better?
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, please tell me because I don't want you to not be able to hear. Okay, so what do I say in here? Live in the present. Okay, so I've heard the saying that God is not in the past and God is not in the future, but the Creator is always right here, right now. So stay in the presence because it's in the presence where God is talking to you, where God can make a difference in what's happening. So to think about the past, is the only good thing about that. Think about the past is what you learned from it. If you can think about what you learned from it, then it might help you in your now. But the future is, you can't really worry about the future because you can't do anything about it until you get there. So it says, it's no use to brood about the past or worry about the future. We must work with the medicine that is in our presence and affecting us right now. Well, so if it's supposed to affect us right now, how is it supposed to affect us? Are we supposed to change because of what's going on? Are we supposed to be, is it supposed to affect the way we think? If we think about what's going on right now? You think people are supposed to change? Yeah, we're not supposed to go through our entire life and not change, not learn anything. You gotta learn something. Here, Chief Flying Hawk, Ogala Sioux says, if the Great Spirit wanted men to stay in one place, he would make the world stand still. But he made it to always change so birds and animals can move and always have green grass and ripe berries, sunlight to work and play, and night to sleep. Summer for flowers to bloom and winter for them to sleep, always changing, everything for good, nothing for nothing. So nature is always changing, and I guess people are supposed to change too. That would make sense. Now this says it is your perceptions of your thoughts and experiences that will make them either good medicine or bad medicine for you. Now let's think about that. So it's not really what happens, it's what you think about it that makes it either good medicine or bad medicine to you. Because let's say a tornado comes by and destroys this old house. And some people might think, oh my gosh, this house is destroyed. But maybe the people who owned it were like, they were going to tear it down and it was going to be a big expense. And so now the tornadoes torn it all apart. So it's easier to take away. Could be a good thing. So you have to, it's not just one thing or the other. It's how you think about it. Now here, Hemios Storm says, he's a philosopher, boy, he's got some interesting ideas. And here's one of his. He says, in many ways, this circle, the medicine wheel, can best be understood if you think of it as a mirror in which everything is reflected. The universe is the mirror of the people, the old teachers tell us, and each person is a mirror to every other person. Ever thought about that? How people mirror how you're feeling? If you dance out the door, they say the best way to approach life is to dance out the door, because then you've got this good feeling in your heart, and so everybody that you meet is going to reflect that good feeling back to you. But if you stub your toe and spill your coffee and you go out the door in a bad mood, then everybody that you meet is going to be in a bad mood. You're going to meet cars on the freeway that aren't going to be friendly and all that kinds of stuff. So he goes on to say, any idea, person, or object can be a medicine wheel or a mirror for man. The tiniest flower can be a mirror, as can a wolf, a story, a touch, a religion, or a mountaintop. For example, one person alone on a mountaintop at night might feel fear. Another might feel calm and peaceful, but still another might feel lonely, and a fourth person might feel nothing at all. In each case, the mountaintop would be the same, but it would be perceived differently as it reflected the feelings of the different people who experienced it. So a mirror. It says your environment. It goes on to say, that right there, but somewhere in here it goes on to say that your environment is supposed to mirror your thoughts and feelings to teach you the value of living in a relaxed and loving frame of mind. Because if that's what's in your mind, then that's what's going to be mirrored back to you. So it makes a big difference how you look at the world, what's going on in your brain. Because I've seen it time and time again. If you start worrying about something, and sure enough, that's going to happen because you put that thought out there. So got to stay in a relaxed, loving frame of mind. Now, a good medicine teaches that when people live in a natural environment, there will be an herb within the range of their medicine wheel to cure any disease which attacked them. So your environment mirrors your thoughts and feelings. So if you are sick, then nature is going to try to put something there to help you get well. So that's a good thing about learning the plants in your area around where you live, is because they are there for you. So you can go and look up the medicinal uses for the plants around you, and you'll find that there's some good stuff that's right there, right near you. Geronimo says, for each tribe of men Usen created, he also made a home. In the land created for any particular tribe, he placed whatever would be best for the welfare of that tribe. When Usen created the Apaches, he also created their homes in the West. He gave them such grain, fruits, and game as they needed to eat. To restore their health when disease attacked them, he taught them where to find these herbs and how to prepare them for medicine. He gave them pleasant climate, and all they needed for clothing and shelter was at hand. So, harmony in your medicine wheel. So how do you know when you're in harmony? It says, since health is so dependent upon living in harmony with the life forces within the good medicine wheel, A tribe always tried to live in an area where the vibrations of the land matched the vibrations of the people within the tribe so that there was a feeling of harmony between the people and their medicine wheel. Well, how do you know if you're in harmony with your land? Oh, Chris, I'm sorry. You had your hand up. Did you have something you wanted to say?
I don't know. Is another Chris here? I didn't put my hand up.
Uh-oh. Let's see. We can figure out how to do that. I guess I could put it down. Okay, well,
I have
let's
a
see.
comment.
Yes.
I have a comment. I think it's just coming home and being happy or being like joyful and grateful, waking up grateful in the
Yes.
morning.
If you feel happy where you are, then yeah, you're in harmony with your land. So, there's some places where you can move or you can go visit even, and you just don't feel right there. You just don't, feel comfortable. There's something the matter. But when you find a place where you feel happy and comfortable, then you're in harmony with that area. Okay, Okute or Shooter, he's at Teton Sioux. He says, the seeds of the plants are blown about by the wind until they reach the place where they will grow best, where the action of the sun and the presence of moisture are most favorable to them. And there they take root and grow. All living creatures and all plants are a benefit to something. Certain animals fulfill their purpose by definite acts. The crows, buzzards, and flies are somewhat similar in their use, and even the snakes have purpose and being. In the early days, the animals probably roamed over a very wide country until they found a proper place. An animal depends a great deal on the natural conditions around it. If the buffalo were here today, I think they would be different from the buffalo of the old days because all the natural conditions have changed. They would not find the same food nor the same surroundings. Boy, isn't that true? Everything has changed. The soil has changed. Now we're putting poison on the ground, and the bacteria that is in the soil is all different now. And the air that we breathe is, full of different stuff. And so, yes, everything is different. There is some place which is best adapted to each person. It is this lesson that the seeker of wisdom must bear in mind. It is wise to live where you feel in harmony with the land. So you got to move around a little bit until you feel like you belong there. You feel like you're happy there, like you want to be there. All things of life have changed drastically, and the medicine of today is much different than the medicine of our ancestors. Boy, the food today is way different than the food of our ancestors. Holy cow, they do all sorts of things to it that they didn't used to. The air that we breathe is different than it used to be. Everything is different. However, one rule of nature still applies. A man ought to desire that which is genuine instead of that which is artificial. And this is the difference between good medicine and bad medicine. Now, that's a heavy thought there. So the genuine is good medicine, and the artificial is what they're saying is bad medicine. And usually that's the case because the genuine is stuff that Mother Nature has made, and the artificial is stuff that people have put together, trying to improve on nature. So this is the difference, it says, between good medicine and bad medicine. Desire that which is desire that which is genuine instead of that which is artificial. What do you think about that idea? You think that's you think that's a good definition of what good medicine and bad medicine is? The difference between genuine and artificial?
I think it's a great analogy of good and bad medicine. So anything that's genuine would be authentic. True authenticity is one of the highest vibrations out there. They think it's love. But so if it's authentic and it's genuine, then that would be very good medicine versus the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is the difference between good medicine and bad medicine. Just as an individual person has a medicine wheel, so does the race of humans have its medicine wheel, which is the earth. Like the individual's medicine wheel, all things that affect the earth affect the human race. In one of his many visions, the Oglala medicine man, Black Elk, received a glimpse of this big medicine wheel. And he says, "Then I was standing on the highest mountain of them all, and around about beneath me was the whole hoop of the world. And while I stood there, I saw more than I tell, and I understood more than I saw, for I was seeing in a sacred manner the shapes of all things in the spirit, and the shape of all shapes as they must live together like one being. And I saw that the sacred hoop of my people was one of many hoops that made one circle, wide as daylight in the starlight, and in the center grew one mighty flowering tree to shelter all the children of one mother and one father. And I saw that it was holy." Wow, what a vision that was. Kind of reminds me of the vision that I had, because I kind of, not quite like that, but I saw the world from far away, and I saw that all the life forms on the earth were like cells in her body. And that's when I saw that she was with child, that a new consciousness was forming. And I knew right when I saw that I was part of that new consciousness. And it's something in my brain told me that it was time to find the others. So that's what I've been doing all this time. It's looking for you guys. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. And Chief Seattle says, if all the beasts were gone, man would die from a great loneliness of spirit. For whatever happens to the beast soon happens to man. All things are connected. The earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of earth. If men spit upon the ground, they spit upon themselves. This we know, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. This we know. All things are connected like the blood that unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of earth. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand on it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. Even the white man, whose God walks and talks with him as friend to friend, cannot be exempt from the common destiny. We may be brothers after all, we shall see. One thing we know, which the white man may one day discover, our God is the same God. You may think now that you own him as you wish to own our land, but you cannot. He is the God of man, and his compassion is equal for the red man and the white. The earth is precious to him, and to harm the earth is to heap contempt upon its creator. Contaminate your bed, and you will one night suffocate in your own waste. So, what is medicine? Let's answer these questions. How do we define medicine?
The things have an effect upon us physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Yes, everything has an effect on us. So how can we determine what is good medicine and what is bad medicine?
By the
Chris?
way it makes you feel.
Well, yes, the good medicine leads you towards health and happiness, and bad medicine leads you away from those things. So it's pretty easy to tell which is which. You just have to think about it a minute. So what is the idea of the personal medicine wheel? Let's see, Chris, you want to try that one? What's the idea of how big is the personal medicine wheel?
Um, I don't know why I was thinking, um, I don't remember. I want to say it's like 20 miles or something. I don't
Well,
remember.
it's as far as you can see. So yeah, there are some places where you
Yeah.
can see that far. It's as far as you can see
Yeah.
because usually that's as far as you can reach. I mean, if you're going to go
Yeah.
someplace, it's usually where you can see. You know, here I am. I'm between the river over here and some farmland over there, and so I guess if I was going to go someplace, it would have to be around here. If I was going to
Yeah.
walk, you know, or if I had a horse. Now, if you travel, does that make a difference in how big your medicine wheel is? What do you think about
Yes.
that? Yeah, because you would have more of an effect, wouldn't you? Like if you travel to different countries, even, holy cow, then your medicine wheel would be really big.
Can
That's what I was,
can your
that's
medicine
what I
wheel
kind of thought of.
change?
Oops. Let's see,
No,
Chris, you
I
want
was
to
just
try?
thinking like, because I like to travel a lot. So I was wondering how that would work too. As I was thinking about that, and it's like, well, it's not like it used to be where people kind of stay, you know, it's like it's people move around a lot these days. I don't know.
Yes. So I think that if you moved around a lot, that your medicine wheel would be bigger because you would have a bigger reach. You would be able to affect things more in different places. That's what I think.
So I have a question about that. If you travel and say, so I'm here in Plantation, Florida, and I travel up to Georgia. Well, wouldn't like the center or the circumference of my medicine wheel travel with me, my body? So it's not like I think I'm asking, like my medicine wheel starts from here in Plantation, and now, you know, I can see to say Boca Raton, but I'm going to travel. So now my medicine wheel extends from Plantation all the way up to Georgia. Or does the medicine wheel travels with me? So I maybe now I can't see Plantation anymore, but I have a whole new range of area that I can affect or that I'm affected by because I've moved and my wheel moves with me.
Yes, it's where you can reach. So you know, so it's wherever you're at, that's where you can have an effect on what's going on.
Yeah,
Listen here,
yeah,
you.
I feel like if you travel and you spend time somewhere, like intentionally working with that energy, you kind of hold that energy and take it with you.
Yes, yeah. So if you
Yeah.
wanted to make a difference in the plastic in the ocean, you know, you could make that difference wherever you go. You could choose to not take plastic spoons and, you know, straws and stuff like that when they, because these fast food places try to give you extra plastic stuff. So say, no, I got my own, thank you. So let's see. So what does he mean that Hemiosis Storms talked about the mirror? The universe is a mirror. What did he talk about that?
Well, in some ways, when he was talking about the mountaintop, it's almost your perception, right? Your perspective. And however you
Yes.
choose to see your surroundings, that's what they are. And they're mirroring your own state of mind.
Yes, yes. Also, your environment mirrors what you're feeling. Like it makes a difference whether you go out the door in a good mood or in a bad mood, because the people that you run into will mirror how you're feeling. It's weird. You should try it and make an experiment and see how that works. So yeah, your environment mirrors how you're feeling because it does that deliberately to teach you the value of living in a relaxed and loving frame of mind, because that's when you have the best luck and the things go better for you. Okay, we talked about all that. Are the past and the future within your medicine wheel?
No, only the present.
That's right. Only the present. There's something really interesting about the presence. It's like it's this is the magical place is to be in the present. And so most of our time we're thinking about stuff we did in the past, and oh my gosh, why did I do that? And that's good to try to decide, that well, maybe I could have done that better, and next time I'll try to do it this way instead of that way. Then that's a good thing. But then let it go. Don't dwell there. Don't live there. Live in the presence. And if you have to think about the future to make plans, well, that's good, but don't live there. Don't stay there. Live in the presence. We live in the present because this is where God is talking to you. This is where the Creator is. Okay. So our people we decided are supposed to change. What is it that causes a person to change?
Maybe they get different facts and realize that it's different than what they thought.
Yes, we can analyze some yes.
Being
Anybody-
uncomfortable enough that you don't want to live like you are any further.
To stay the same, yes. When it's more uncomfortable to stay the same than it is to change, that's when people change. So yeah. And isn't that funny that Sufis say that you have to suffer in order to improve, but I'm not sure that you have to suffer. You just have to feel uncomfortable enough that you don't stay the same. It's weird. Some people say it says no problems, no learning. So it's like we're on autopilot most of the time. We get up and we have breakfast and we go to work and we come home and we watch TV and we go to bed, and that's like autopilot. You don't think about anything. But then say you get up in the morning and oh my gosh, now there's snow on the car and now the tires are flat, and then oh my gosh, now it's like now I have to think. Oh no. You got to do something different. So yeah, most of the time we're on autopilot and we're not really thinking. So the thing that causes a person to change is that they have to think about stuff. They have to do something different. So according to the good medicine teachings, what is provided to protect us against the attack of disease if we're living in a natural environment?
Well, if you're living where you're supposed to be living on the land, then you're going to have the medicine in enough of a distance for you to be able to access it.
Yes. So if you have a piece of your yard that you allow to be wild and that Mother Nature can plant whatever she wants there, then that's usually where you're going to find the stuff that's best for your health. But like in California especially, the yards are manicured. There's not a blade of grass that grows in a yard that's not planted or planned to be there. And so it's hard to find natural plants that just grow wild. But if you've got a piece of your yard or a lot of it that grows just naturally, then Mother Nature will bring stuff to you that's going to help you. And in fact, if you get sick, you'll notice that there's different things that grow in your yard. Just kind of interesting to go find out what all those things are and what they do, because they're there for you.
I love my dandelions.
Yes, well, dandelions are a spring tonic.
Oh, no, I know.
Yes, so they're good things. So how can you tell if you harmonize with a particular place? How can you tell if you're in harmony with where you're living?
You feel good.
You're happy? Yeah,
Yes.
you feel good.
You're happy and you feel good. Yes. How is the land that we know today different than it was when the Native American tribes lived on it?
Oh,
Lots.
too much concrete, too many too much construction.
Yes. Mhm. We don't have the same kind of bugs. The bugs
No.
are totally different. My the lightning bugs I used to love to go out in the fields and watch. They're just can't hardly find them anymore.
I know.
And the soil is so different. This is, Missouri was Monsanto country. So it's really interesting to watch the fields, because usually you see butterflies or moths or birds or something out there in the fields. That you don't see anything out there, not a thing. There's no grasshoppers, there's no flies, there's no moths and bees and birds. And
Well, the soil doesn't smell like the earth used to when they first turned it over in the spring. You could tell they were getting ready to plant,
yes.
and
Mhm.
it just smelled so good. And now it's all ammonia and chemicals, and at least here.
Yeah. Well, now when the Missouri River floods, it used to be that it would bring topsoil and it would bring all kinds of good stuff to the
Mhm.
fields around. But now, no, it's got gasoline in it. It's got all kinds of yuck, and so they have to plant something. I forgot what it was they plant now to try to make the soil better. They can't really use it after it's been flooded because it's got so much yuck on it. So things are really different. What about the food we eat now? Is that different than it used to be?
Yes,
Oh
from all the
boy.
chemicals that it's grown in or that they use to process it, or it just goes on and on. You try and
Yes,
eat healthy, but it
it's
still
really hard.
grows in that
It's hard to
dirt.
do. The stuff we used to take for granted, clean air and clean good food and pure water and all that good stuff is it's so hard to find now. You really have to look for it. So how do modern medicines compare with those used in the days of our ancestors? They're really
In the
different.
days of our ancestors, everything they used was natural. It was plant medicine. It was derived from Mother Earth. And now everything's toxic and artificial.
Yes. Yes, it's really different. Let's see. Here it says, Okute says, a man ought to desire that which is genuine instead of that which is artificial. How does this statement apply to our search for good medicine? Does that help us know what's good medicine?
Hmm.
Yep, we ought to desire that which is genuine instead of that which is artificial. Like vitamins, for instance. These synthetic vitamins like Centrum and different things. Um, I don't even remember the name, but so those, if you take too many, those are actually toxic. But if you there's another vitamin called Alive, which is really inexpensive. It's something that Walmart sells, but it's made from food, and so what they're giving you is stuff that Mother Nature provides instead of it being synthesized in a laboratory. So, and Mother Nature knows all kinds of things that are in these plants that we have no idea what's in there. When they go to test for things, if they want to find if there's iron in a plant, they have a specific test that if it turns a certain color, then yes, there's iron in that plant. But they don't have a test that just shows them whatever is in there. They only test for certain things. And so they only find certain things. And so if they're going to synthesize it, they only synthesize those things that they have found. But
But
Mother
you need the
Nature's,
whole plant.
yes, Mother Nature's got stuff in there that we don't know anything about yet. So we need the plant for our vitamins because she's got more in there than we know about. So let's see. If an individual has a personal medicine wheel, so does the human race have its medicine wheel. What is the range of humanity's medicine wheel?
Yeah.
The earth, yes. So if everything within the individual's medicine wheel affects the individual, what in humanity's medicine wheel affects the whole human race?
Well, the air, the
Pretty
land,
much- pretty much everything.
everything.
Yes. Yes. So let's see. One of his many visions, Black Elk received a glimpse of the big medicine wheel. Discuss this vision. Oh, this is his his big vision here when he saw the whole hoop of the world, saw the whole world as one being, and all the spirits that make up that being. It must have been a mighty vision, boy. Have you ever had a vision like that? About how everything is one, everything is part
No,
of
but I'm hoping to.
yes. Yep. Well, so there we are. This is a person's personal medicine. You have any other questions about what that is? You think you can find your good medicine and bad medicine in your personal medicine wheel? Be on the lookout for
Yes.
that. So we have one more. Oh my gosh, we're almost there. This is the last one is the most important for those of you who want to practice magic, because this will keep you out of trouble. This one is about the law of cause and effect. So yes, definitely need to know about that one. And that'll be the end of it. And then after that, we'll start in on the wisdom in living.
We
Misty,
don't
would
have
you
to sign
mind?
up for it. We can just continue on because I do want to do that.
Yes, yes, you don't need the initiation to just continue on with the wisdom in living. And that gives us another 7 weeks to get the initiations done, and
Okay.
before we have to.
Thank you.
That was
Sure.
my question. Can you go over, I missed some of the beginning of one session where you were talking about sort of the process of, or the schedule of the classes and then the initiations and when you have to accomplish each one. Would you mind going through that just real quickly one more time?
I mean, when I'm going to be doing initiations?
Or yeah, like when we have to have our initiation done in order to do the next step. And I know you also mentioned there's a place in New Jersey we could try and schedule it. So I was just trying to figure out when I would need to have it done by in order to continue.
Well, I was hoping to see Mercury goes retrograde on the 15th of March. So I was hoping to start it on the 10th of March. That's a Monday. I like Mondays. Magic Monday. So I'm hoping to do that started on the 10th. Now, if you miss the first couple, that's okay. Actually, we've had people join at different times, after we first started, and you just have to start over from the beginning when we come around and do it again. Just pick up those first couple of classes in the beginning that you missed. If you
So
start.
you're saying if we're not able to do the initiation with you around the 10th, I know you said you were going to Colorado, and then there was another place that people could go. So if you're unable to travel to those places, then you have to wait until next year and start the whole process over again?
Well, if you wanted to start well, you don't have to. You can, anytime you get the initiation, you can join the class, but the first 15 classes or so are the initial exercises. And so you really need those first few classes to, I mean, I've had people join later on, and I still have some of those folks with me. So I guess it's not terrible to do that, to do it that way. It's just easier if you start at the beginning. Everything.
So the classes that require the initiation, you wanted to start those the 15th? Is that March 15th? Is that right?
The classes that require initiation start on the 10th of March.
Oh, they start on March 10th. So we would need to have the initiation done between now and March 10th.
Yes.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah. But you're really close to New Jersey, and she's she's got a bunch of stuff going on up there. So, do you know who she is, Maria?
I think you sent me her shop information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anybody close to Florida?
No. No, let's see let's see, how can we do that? It's just in an area where it's there's no place to go from there. There's getting to be a bunch of people around the Houston area in Texas. But Florida, oh, it's so far.
You
It's
said
farther.
there's few people in Texas?
There's getting to be. Down around Houston, there's getting to be a few people.
And they can do initiations?
No,
Oh, okay. Okay.
not yet. I'm hoping.
Do you need to be initiated to do the wellness and living class?
No.
How do you get in on that?
Well, if you want to be there, I'll just switch you on over to that group. When we get
Okay.
done, I'll just ask everybody if you want to continue on with the wisdom in living. It's those are common sense things that you probably should already know, but if you don't, they're good stuff to know. And so
You might be
Plus-
surprised how little my common sense may be.
well, and Mark Twain says common sense isn't so common anymore. So these things are they're not so common. So they're good things to note because it's all about how you make decisions. And making decisions is what's, the difference between good medicine and bad medicine, making good decisions. So learning how to make good decisions is something that we need to know.
I just want to remind you, if you want to come to Florida, I have a place for you to stay. And then you can
Yeah.
teach initiation. Then I can help out.
Well, that would be wonderful. I would love to do that. I just don't know how to get down there. I'm going to be going back to Virginia. My friend out there who's got 4th stage kidney failure is going to have some kind of a surgery. So I'm going to have to go back.
Do you know when you're going to be there, Misty?
No, I don't. Probably won't be till April, maybe, or May. He's kind of up in the air about things. So I don't know if I don't have a whole bunch of people in the South. I thought I was going to have a bunch of people in North Carolina and Tennessee, but I don't know what happened to everybody. So I do have a nice lady in Georgia that's trying to find some other people.
Can she do initiations?
No, not yet. No. See, in order to do initiations, you have to be the leader of a group. You have to have your own group that you're teaching. So we're getting there. We just don't have a lot of people in the same, but we're getting there. But now New Jersey's just cooking. I'm telling you, I can't. You would not think that somebody that close to the East Coast would be so involved with natural medicine and stuff, but there they are.
Maybe they're the ones calling all the UFOs.
Yes. I should ask them every once in a while. So you hearing about thing about the drones, or that's what's going on up there?
So are the only ones who can do the initiations the woman in New Jersey and yourself, Misty? Is that correct?
So far, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Give me another year or two, and I'll have some in other places. But yeah. Yes. So as soon as I get someplace over near Georgia or in that area, I'll let you know, Jody, and so we can do that. But now, if you want to come to Missouri, it's such a long ways.
Yeah, that is. But how long would I need to be there? 2 days?
No, just the afternoon actually. So it's not a well now. And my partner has a 2-story house with bedrooms upstairs, and there's a bathroom up there, no kitchen. And his bedrooms don't have any TV in it or anything, but it would save you $100 from staying in a motel, and you could drive. I've had people fly in. I'd be happy to pick you up at the airport in Kansas City or in Columbia, Missouri. And
Okay.
we have a place to stay if you want to stay there.
I'm looking up flights right now.
Oh, okay.
How far are you from St. Louis?
I'm 2 hours.
2 hours.
So it's not impossible. I've dropped somebody off there at the train station.
So where in Missouri is the easiest place to fly in? Which airport?
Well, Columbia has an airport. Columbia is in the middle of between St. Louis and Kansas City.
Okay.
Right off of I-70, and it's right. In fact, it's midway between St. Louis and Kansas City.
So for all intents and purposes, are we done with the lesson, or we still have more stuff to
Yes.
do?
No, we're done with this lesson. We've got one more, the cause and effect, and that's next week. And then we'll be
Awesome.
done. Then we'll be done. So
right,
yes,
well-
we're almost done.
Thank you very much. This was awesome. Have a lovely night, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you coming.
Good night.
I missed you.
Good
Have a
night.
good week.